Hello and welcome in the Victam newsroom. My name is Gerrit Heikoop and I'm here to find out what's hot, what's new and what's important in the international feed processing industry. And in this episode I'm joined by Johan and Hartog, who is the Managing Director of GMP Plus International. And GMP, you hosted your workshop here today. Johan, welcome.
Thank you.
Let's start at the beginning before we zoom in what happened at the workshop. For our viewers who don't know GMP, what is the GMP Plus framework?
GMP Plus is a certification scheme focused on feed safety assurance, and we cover the whole feed supply chain. So from the beginning, not cultivation, but collection and processing, for instance, crushing of oilseeds, trade, transport, production of premixtures and compound feed, until the delivery to the livestock farmers is covered by our scheme. And the main focus is how to control the safety of the feed so that the companies, the livestock farmers, are able to produce safe food.
Exactly. And why was this framework originally created? What is the purpose? What was the occasion that it started?
It was in the Netherlands 25 years ago, in 1992. At that moment, the dairy and the meat industry in the Netherlands asked the feed industry to have a better control of the feed safety, because incidents we had at that moment caused problems in the export of meat and dairy products, so that was a starting point. But later on we developed the scheme, and then it was not only the Netherlands, but the feed sector is an international business, so we nowadays are a scheme with more than 70,200 participants in about 85 countries worldwide.
Exactly, and this morning there was a GMP Plus workshop here at Victam Asia. I saw you as one of the opening speakers there. What was your key message for the audience here?
Well, the key message is be ready for the future when it's about feed safety. Feed safety, food safety is becoming a topic also in Asia. So it's also important that the food industry take care of the feed supply chain, and that the feed supply chain also provide safe feed to the livestock farmers, so that also in Asia the farmers are able to produce safe meat and safe dairy. Especially also that not only for the domestic market, but also for export of meat to Japan, but also Europe, United States, everywhere.
Now, to me as a food consumer, this sounds quite obvious that feed safety is important. Why do you still have to organize these workshops? What is holding people back to just apply this?
Well, not holding back, but it's also important that people know about this system. And we are already active here in Asia, but now what we see is an increasing demand for feed safety assurance, food safety assurance, but also feed safety assurance. So we have to be here. So that the people know more about our scheme, so that they can also participate in our community.
So you say with the scheme in place, you can actually also prove that your safety is in order?
Right. What we notice is that companies, especially downstream compound feed producers, realize this is a good tool to have a better control of the feed supply chain in order to control the risks in the feed supply chain when it's about feed safety.
Exactly, from the very raw material all the way to the consumer's plate. Now, can you tell us a little bit, what does the framework look like? What is it practically? Is it just a handbook? Is it tooling? What can we expect?
Well, first of all, you have to, of course, you have to put in place kind of measures when it's about maintenance of the factory, about training of people, about pest control. That's the basic idea. Then secondly, you have to identify what are the remaining risks in your production process. And then if you have identified the remaining risks, you have to implement control measures. And if you have done that, you have to take care that you, of course, implement and apply the control measures from day-to-day practice.
Yeah.
And also verify, is it effective, yes or no? That's more or less the
simple explanation, yeah.
It's about documentation, about procedures, but also finally how to implement it in the daily practice of the factory on the work floor.
Well, sounds very practical and useful. Yeah. Do you see any great examples of companies and how they apply that?
Well, we see that several companies apply, especially, well, there are companies, for instance, in Europe, but also we see also more and more interest in Asia, downstream compound feed producers implementing it. pushing their suppliers to become certified also, to have a better control of the feed safety risk. Another example, there are companies providing ingredients, and several of them are also here at Victam, and they have decided that all their plants worldwide operate under the GM Plus scheme. That is a good example that they consider our scheme as a very useful tool for their company to control their risks and also to have a good image towards their customers and to create trust in the market.
Exactly, and that's important for all of us, I guess, here at the International Feed Processing. Well, thank you very much, Johan. Thank you for sharing. And if people are curious to learn more about this GMP Plus framework, where can they go online?
They can go to our website, www.gmpplus.org, and there you can find everything.
All the resources you need.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. And if you're looking and you're curious about practical examples, how this GMP Plus framework actually works in practice, I invite you to explore further on this Victam International YouTube channel and search for the episode with Justina Mazinski that we just had. She is from Trau Nutrition, and she explains how she actually applies this framework within their international company. If you're curious about more news from the Victam Newsroom, make sure you hit the subscribe button on this YouTube channel so you're the first to know when a new video comes out. Sign up for our newsletter at victam.com, and most importantly, I'm looking forward to meet you in person at Victam International 2019 in Cologne or back here in Bangkok for Victam Asia 2020. Thank you for watching.